How could I forget that I had given her an extra key? All this time she was standing there, she never took her eyes off me.
Oh, you think it's the woman access to your villa? Trespass on the weakness, all of your clean on your pillar. You better watch your back before she turn into a killer. Let's review the situation that you call the winner. To be a true player.
So today I'm going to show you how to take down a mirror, bathroom mirror specifically, that's usually above a vanity. These mirrors over here are sometimes difficult to get off. They put, the mirror companies, when they put them on, they use this black tar type substance. It's kind of a rubbery, I guess, caulking for lack of a better term, but you don't know where those blotches are at. A lot of glass guys will follow the other glass guy's lead and put them in certain areas, so when a glass guy comes in, he kind of knows where the blotches are at, but I have seen these mirrors have discombobulated blotches everywhere. So when I say it's difficult, people are afraid of glass, as I am. I don't want to get cut. Nobody wants to get cut. And I had made a video a couple of years ago on how to take down a mirror, and I'm so used to doing them that I generally will use gloves, yes, but you know, I have reading glasses that I put on, and that's my safety protection. But as far as like in that video, I know there's a lot of people are like, you should be wearing safety gear. Da, da, da. If somebody doesn't know that they should be using safety gear on a glass, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not trying to be responsible for your mess up. All I'm saying is the proper way is to put on full safety gear. So yes, I put on gloves just in case. I've never had one break, I've never had one crack, and the easiest way to get these mirrors off is using shims. If you can heat up the room a little bit, it helps. So turn a space heater on or whatever, it kind of makes the glue a little softer. So I use shims, and you're going to see that process. I'm going to knock the shims right there behind me. I'm going to knock the shims on the top, probably 4 or 5. This mirror is about 6, not quite 6 foot long. It's about a 5 foot by 3 foot mirror. So I'm going to use probably 2 or 3 shims going across the top. I'm just going to stick them in the side between the wall and the mirror itself. Wood shims, I had to specify. And then over on this end over here, I'm going to put in probably 2 or 3. I can't get to the other end. I'm not going to worry about that. Once you start knocking the shims in, you know, you do it incrementally. Put a shim in here, knock it down, and you go all the way around the perimeter. If you can get in 3 sides, that's great. But if you can't, the mirror will still disadhere from the paper. The paper that's on the sheetrock is what the mirror is disadhering from. You'll never get the glue off of the back of the mirror, but the paper will come off fairly easy, and you'll actually start hearing it kind of want to rip off. And so the more you put these shims in, the more it's going to push that mirror out via the paper. Sometimes the shims, because the mirror is so loose, the shim will actually drop down behind there, which is for me a great thing because that actually pushes out the mirror even more from the bottom that I can't get to anyway. So this is kind of a little short tutorial. It's not very long, but I think I've explained it verbally enough that you could probably do it yourself. And so I'm just going to show you how the process goes. Now here's the thing, the caveat to that is when the mirror does disadhere finally, when finally all those glue patches are free and clear, that mirror has a tendency of popping back. Like, I don't know what your backsplash is on your vanity, but whatever it is, you want to make sure that you have your foot up there or that you have something so that when that glass kind of pops back, and sometimes it's just incremental, maybe half an inch or even an inch or something, and sometimes, I mean, you never know. The longest mirror that I would ever take off myself is probably 6 foot long. Anything longer than that, I'm having a glass company come in, because the longer it is, the more it can bow and the more likelihood you could actually pop that mirror, and that's the last thing I ever want to do. Generally speaking, this is a 2-man job. If you have 3 people, that's even better. And then also, you want to make sure that when the mirror kind of pops up at the bottom, you don't want to hit your faucets, because that will break a mirror also. What else? So that's the best I could tell you. The wood shims are sold at Home Depot. When you're using a hammer, obviously, and I don't even know if you want to use a mirror again, usually they're not usable again because of that glue on the back of them. But when you're hammering in there and you get close to the glass, stop and then just use another shim, or you can double up on your shims if you need to and start knocking those down there. But don't hit the mirror with a hammer, not a good thing. So I'm going to get started. I've got some gloves over here. Oh, the second reason to have a second person is obviously the mirror is heavy, and when it does pop off of the wall, you need 2 people up there to pick it up and lift it out of the bathroom. So yeah, 2 people. You could actually do part of this yourself and have the second person, as I do with my helper, standing off to the side until I get to the point where I know it's going to start to pop off, and then he can come up there with me at that point. So anyway, I have my safety gloves on, my glasses I have on, and I'm ready. So the main thing is getting the shim that's thick enough. Some of these are cut off at the end when you buy them. Getting one inside the first part, and then about a foot down or so, second part. I've had these mirrors actually start to pop off when I pushed them with my hand. I didn't even need a hammer. That's how loose some of these can be. And you're not going to see me, I'll be off camera, but I'm incrementally putting these side. I have to do it sideways because the light is in the way. If you wanted to take off the light, it would help. But I can usually get these in sideways without a problem. So another foot down, I put another one. Another foot down, I put a second, third, fourth one. Down in the end, I'm putting one. And at the very last part, I'm putting one also. So, I misspoke on this. Both of my sides here, as you see over here, I have 2 inches, well, you can't see it, I'll show you. So I have 2 inches, literally, of room, and I have nowhere that I can put a shim. The ideal situation is you're putting a shim in the side there, and you see the ones at the top. So about a foot apart from each other, more or less, is where I'm putting the shims. And again, I don't have the side part over here. It's about 2 inches. And so that kind of sucks. The ideal situation is that you have access both on that side and that side. This is still doable. It's just it takes a little bit longer because as these things drop down, they have to do the work that the side ones would normally do. And it's a process. So I'm going to have my helper, whoops, you hear it? That's funny. Right where that pop was, part of that glue disadhered. So that's what I was saying earlier. Sometimes I've done it just using my hand and pushing these down, and it's kind of popped off by itself where I don't need to bang with a hammer. Oh, by the way, if you have a rubber mallet, that might even be better. And as you see, because we already had a pop there, my helper is off to my right, and he's just kind of holding the mirror up there in case it decides to pop off. So what I've done is, oops, see, popped again. So what I've done is I've gone to the very end, to that very end that you can't see, and I started pushing them down. The very end one I pushed down last, and then I started working my way backwards again, starting to push those in there. And it's getting very, very loose to the point where some of these shims are going to start dropping. So now I'm down at this end, and again, I pushed it down with finger as far as I could get it, and now I'm going to start going in that direction again. And now my middle one has dropped down, which is good. 2 middle ones have dropped down, which is good. So I'm going to come back over here again, and now you hear the paper start to tear. My 2 end ones have dropped. And you should be hearing a pop here again pretty soon. Every single one of my top shims, I don't know if you can see it or not, every single one of my top shims at the top have all dropped into the bottom. So they're going to do the work for me. All I'm going to do is start pushing out. I have enough finger grip. I can get the whole row of my fingers into the top. It's pushed out that far at the top. And then my bottom shims that have dropped down are going to do the work for me as I pull out the top. And that's it.
Nice.
There wasn't that much of a kickback. The mirror is literally away from the wall now. And so what I do is because I'm standing up here, my helper isn't, but he could be, but because I'm standing up here, I'm not able to grab onto the mirror and pull it down. So what I normally do is I pull the mirror off and down past the faucets, and then I jump down onto the floor, pull up, Hold up. You got some strength. You need some strength. See? There you go. Watch your side. Watch your side. Okay, there you go. All right, right there. And now that I have it sitting on the vanity top, I can jump down like a contortionist, and my helper can pull it out to the side, and we can set it down on the floor until we figure out what to do with it. If I weren't, honestly, if I weren't videotaping this, it would have taken me about half the time, but because I'm trying to instruct you on the proper way to do this, it took me a little bit longer. It's a relatively easy process, and as everybody, and I've already mentioned, people are afraid of getting cut, as I am, and I've never broken one, but this is what I was talking about. So the glue is literally stuck to the back of this mirror. Down there is where you see the paper had come off, and they didn't do such a great job sticking this, because normally all of these blotches would have ended up like this. Instead of 5 blotches of this tarry caulking stuff onto the wall, all of those blotches would have been stuck to the mirror, and the paper would have come off, as I talked about in the very beginning. So again, with regard to these shims, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I used 6 of them on this mirror, and as they drop down, because they're kind of thick at the bottom, as they drop down, they were actually doing the work for me. They were pushing out, since I didn't have access to the side. But when you do have access, it's much easier. So I hope that helped you out. I hope that's the easiest way that I know to do it. The only thing that you might want to do different, if you've got these little towel racks, get rid of those. They sometimes get in the way. And if you want a better access, you could take out the light temporarily, pull that out of there until you're done taking it off. And that's it. That's all I have to say about taking off a mirror. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, then subscribe. Hit that button and subscribe. I make nothing off of YouTube, so please be a Patreon member. I'm going to post a link down below to my Patreon account, and you can donate $1, $5, $10, $20 a month. Just pledge that on a monthly basis. That will help me produce more videos and content so that you can watch and learn from my channel. And donate at least $50 if you're going to call. If you're going to call for advice, donate to my PayPal, please. Donate first, and then feel free to call me or email me for advice. Otherwise, business calls only, please.